Hello everybody and welcome to this video. In this video I will be explaining a dashboard I created using Power BI for a data analysis for an online retail dataset. This dataset can be found online. I'm not gonna show it. And also the data that I used in this dashboard to create it was cleaned and manipulated using Python and Power BI by me. But also all of that is on the GitHub repo. So if you want to check that out, you can see that there. You can read it. It's all there, the code. And I'm going to include the link for that in the description of this video. So in this video, the focus will be mainly on the dashboard. And by the way, there are two dashboards. There is this one, light one, and there's also a darker one, which I will show later. Why did I create it too? Because I believe that um, usually lighter dashboards are better for presentations to clients and presentations in general. But maybe if you want to use the dashboard at a certain time of the day, for example, at night, or if you're working in an environment where there is no light, or maybe if you just want to do some data analysis for yourself and you can want you maybe you want to see the data and you don't want to show it to anybody else. In those situations, for me, and I know a lot of people who agree, darker dashboards are better. So that's why I created two. But I'm going to explain the main features and the main parts of the dashboard. So, as it always goes, in the top, we can see the KPIs. There are six of them. Four of them, the ones in the middle, have toolkits associated, tooltips, and the ones on the corners don't. Why the ones on the corner don't? Because basically, over time, if you want to see total revenue or total return value, we have these charts right here. So there's no need to create tooltips for that. But for the ones in the middle, total quantity sold, return revenue per customer, sorry, returns percentage, and total return counts, we have some nice charts over time. And so we can see everything here. And yeah, these two line charts right here are total revenue over time and total returns value over time. There's a lot of data, and by the way, we see all the data over time by year, quarter, month, and exact dates, so it's quite complete. Actually, if we enlarge for example, we can see there's a lot of data. So yeah, then we also have this table chart right here, which has customer, country, active months. The active months, by the way, is how many months that customer worked and produced revenue. By the way, in total, there are 25 months, so it's a little over 2 years of time of data collection. Then we have this column customer type. This is a calculated column, by the way. All the explanation again is in GitHub. But basically, what I did was categorize the customers in active, inactive, and normal according to the amount of months they were active. There was a rule about it. The client provided this, and the the active clients are defined, customers, sorry, are defined as those who work over 6 months. So that actually, and of course we have average spend and total revenue. But this category here leads us to this chart right here. This chart is number of customers and total revenue by active months. So we can see immediately that uh, most of the customers are inactive, but the higher amount of revenue is produced by those customers who are considered active and are the least amount of customers. And this actually, I did the calculations, and you can see by the total revenue, and I will show that later, but actually this is called a Pareto pattern, and it's basically the 80-20 rule, which is like 20% of the total amount of customers produce about 80% of the total revenue. And this is quite common actually in sales, and it's a really valuable insight to know for a client, because they can then, for example, focus all of their marketing, or not all of their marketing, but most of the marketing, loyalty programs, and churn analysis, all can be focused on, or mostly focused on that small portion of customers, which are the most important, right? So we want to retain those customers because they are the ones that produce the most. And then to finish it up, we have these three visualizations right here. This one is pretty straightforward. It's a tree map, and it shows it shows the return value and quantity by country, and we can see that the United Kingdom is the one that produced the most amount of returns. By the way, the United Kingdom was also the one that produced the most amount of total revenue and sales. So it makes sense also that the most amount of returns come from that area, that country. Then we have this bar chart and line chart stacked. This shows by product the total revenue and the returns. Um, and finally, this one right here is average order value and average price over time. This visualization right here, what it shows is basically how the prices of a product vary according to how much it is sell all at once, and how much the value of the product changes in a specific region. So ideally, we want these lines to be almost similar, which is what we see here. But for example, if we see that the average price fluctuates a lot, for example, here, what we can assume is that basically there's a region or a customer that is changing the prices of a product. And also, if we see that, for example, the average order value exceeds by a lot the average price, we can assume basically that this is due to larger baskets of products. So, for example, a customer is buying um, a lot of one product at the same time, right? And then the slicers, to finish it up, the slicers are customer type, which is the categorization I explained before, year, and country. So that's the dashboard, and let's move on now to the darker one. And so we can also basically see that, I mean, the dashboard is basically the same. There's no change. All that changes is the colors. And but I wanted to quickly show how it looks. So for example, let's filter for 2010, and let's also filter for, I don't know, let's see, active customers, and let's look for, I don't know, Denmark, right? So we can see how all the dashboard changes. Yeah, and let's get to all the years at the same time, and to all the customers, and see how Denmark was. So Denmark was quite good, right? Not a lot of returns, which is good. And yeah, let's deselect everything. And remember what I told you before, that basically most of the least amount of customers were active and they produced a whooping amount of revenue, as you can see here. Also, I mean, the fluctuations in the revenue are impressive. Yeah, so this is what I was saying before about the Pareto pattern. And the inactive actually, for example, even though there were a lot, they produced not a lot of revenue. And we can also filter to see each year by year. And of course, we can select some, I don't know, random product as I just did right here. White hanging hair tea light holder. We can select everything or another product and we can see what we get and also check specific things. Let's, I don't know, United Kingdom, Iran, France, and we can see all the insights. So yeah, this is the dashboard pretty much. I think it shows a lot of things, which is usually what we should aim to do in a dashboard. Yeah. So I hope you liked the video and I hope you like the dashboard. And yeah, let me know what you think. If you want to comment something below, go ahead. I will read the comments. And that's it. Thank you very much and see you soon.